Hey everybody, I'm here today with Beth Pawanda. She is a senior account executive with Old Republic Home Protection, the home warranty people. She services the Northern California counties of Santa Clara, San Mateo, and Santa Cruz. And a lot of people have questions about home warranties. And I myself actually have a lot of questions about home warranties. So I asked Beth if she could join me here today and just talk about a bunch of questions that I have about home warranties. So Beth, thank you so much for making the time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Before we get started, do you want to tell our viewers anything about you, I don't know, your cat's name or anything?
I don't have a cat. Well, what can I say? Well, first of all, I'm from the East Coast. I grew up in Pennsylvania. I moved to California about 30 years ago. I have worked either in risk management or insurance and somewhat in real estate for off and on for probably about I don't want to say how long, but I've been with Old Republic Home Protection for the last 5 years. Prior to that, I sold insurance. So, and the reason I bring that up is because when you sell insurance, you understand risk management in general. And I know from so much experience when the biggest mistake or the no one likes surprises. That's not covered. Why isn't it covered? Well, maybe it's just not something that's covered to begin with, or you just didn't know that you should cover it. Like you just weren't paying attention. So as a home warranty rep, I've been with Old Republic for 5 years. I pride myself in making sure that I do the best possible job for my clients, because I know that if I protect my clients, and my clients, by that I mean you, Seb, you're my client, and then your client. So if I make you look good in front of your clients, that makes me look good. And I like to say, let me be I'll let you be the hero and I'll do all the legwork behind the scenes. But I
Oh, I
do
like that. I like that.
on a personal note, I do have two grown daughters, and my youngest daughter is going to have a baby at the end of May, so I'm going to be a grandmother for the first time.
Wow, crazy. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, my oldest kid is starting high school in August. It's like, wow, man,
I know.
that
What does
was
the time
fast.
do? Yeah, I know. I know. I know. You blink, and like all of a sudden they're driving. So
Yeah, well, I can't wait for that because that means I won't have to drive him around. But one quick question: where in Pennsylvania are you from?
I grew up outside of Philadelphia in the suburbs of southwestern Philadelphia near Valley Forge.
Okay,
And then I moved to New York City when I graduated from college, and then lived in North Jersey and commuted into Manhattan for a number of years. And so California is the fourth state that I lived in.
right. So you're a tried and true East Coaster transplant,
Yeah,
certifiable.
Philly girl at heart. Yeah,
All right, very good. Okay, well, now if you don't mind, I have a few questions about
sure.
home warranties.
Okay, shoot.
So, what exactly is a home warranty? Because a lot of people think home warranty is home insurance, and it's not. What actually is a home warranty?
So a home warranty is a service contract. The way I best explain it to people is that use the analogy of like when you buy a car and it's a new car, it comes with a warranty. So say for the first year or two, you have a warranty, something breaks down in the car, you take it back to the dealer and they fix it. However, when you get into an accident, like you hit a tree or a tree falls on top of you, then that would be a claim for the insurance company. So as it applies to a home warranty, an example would be if you have a water heater and the water heater fails and it floods the room that it's in and maybe ruins the floor, the home warranty company would come in and fix fix the water heater, usually replace it, but the damage that the water caused would be a home warranty claim or home insurance claim. So anything that has to do with like uh, a, a service issue, like something breaks down, home warranty will cover all the systems and appliances in the house. By that, I mean, if the house has air conditioning, you can get optional coverage for air conditioning because where we live here in the Bay Area, most people don't have air conditioning, but it will cover the air conditioning, the heating, the plumbing, the electrical, and the appliances. So dishwasher, cooktop, stove, microwave if it's built in, washer, dryer, refrigerator, if you want those things covered. Because sometimes people, when they move into a new house, they buy all new appliances, so they don't need those covered.
So it's kind of like you mentioned a car, right? So if I had like a car warranty, let's just say
Right.
I bought a used car, I could then take out a car warranty on that, and that would cover like the radiator, or, or
Yeah, the
whatever.
things that like the turn signal stops working or the brakes are sticky or something like that. Yeah,
That's what the car warranty would cover. But then if I crashed into a tree, then that would be my
exactly.
insurance would take care of
Insurance.
that. So,
Yeah,
okay.
I'll give you a perfect example. In fact, today somebody was sending around a text. We have a group chat with all the account executives, and someone asked if the plants that they had would be covered because they had the house fumigated and the termites, the what do you call it? The people who do the termite tenting.
Indicators. Yeah.
Yeah, the plants died. So they're like, would that be covered under the home warranty? We kind of laughed and said, no, it would be covered under the home warranty. The other thing too is nothing structural is covered. Like if a fence falls down or breaks, something like that, that's not, or a window seal fails or the skylight starts leaking, that would not be covered under home warranty. The only kind of structural thing that is covered under at least our home warranties would be the mechanism that works the garage door.
Right. Okay. The
Because that's
mechanism
kind
that,
of, that's electrical, so that's really a system.
right. Right. Got it. So then like some houses have like a lot of stuff, right? Some houses might have like a pool pump, or like a hot
Right.
tub heater, or like solar panels, or like a well pump, or like a septic tank, or like a booster pump. I mean,
Lots of stuff and lots of details.
yeah.
So with our plan, and this is where someone like me comes in. Remember, I said in the beginning of my introduction, as a risk management specialist, I always check to see. Sometimes people like will say, "Hey, I need a home warranty." One of my clients, one of the realtors, will say, "I need a home warranty for this address," and they give me, they'll say they have a budget or whatever. Or they don't tell me budget at all. I will look up the address online, like on Zillow or Redfin, and I will look to see what the details are. The first thing I look for is like make sure it does or doesn't have air conditioning, because that's a question mark around here. The next thing I look for is special features, like do they have an ADU or casita, an outdoor kitchen, a fountain? Do they have a hot tub or a spa? As far as solar panels go, it's pretty much an industry standard that we do not cover solar panels for solar electric, but we do cover solar thermal that would heat, like say, the pool. So if you have a
Right.
solar thermal heated pool, we do cover that. But these are all optional coverages. So if it's somebody new, that I've never worked with before, and I'll say, tell me about your house. Like, what do you want covered? Do you have a wine cellar? These are the things that I make sure. And if someone says, no, I don't want those things covered, I make sure they understand that it's not automatically included in the warranty. What comes standard in our plans are the built-in appliances, things that aren't movable, and then the electrical, the plumbing, the heating. That's standard in our plans. And then it's up to me to work with you to address any kind of add-on, like a septic, pump.
Or like a refrigerator, right? Refrigerator is
Yeah,
not
like see,
normally
sometimes
included.
like refrigerators, like when I bought my house, there was no refrigerator, so I had to go out and buy a new one. And anytime you buy a new appliance, that warranty will supersede a home warranty.
Right. Okay. Then like washer and dryer, also an extra. Is that like an add-on?
Right. We do have bundle packages. But if someone doesn't have those things, then I sort of order a la carte for them to save them money.
Okay. All right. And so let's just like this actually has happened like I mean a surprisingly large number of times after I help a buyer buy a house, there is actually something breaks. I mean, like I want to say like a third of the time it seems like somebody's filing a claim in the first year of home ownership. And how do they go about filing a claim? Like I've never filed one personally. My clients have. Can you walk me through that?
Sure. First, I want to say that statistically, from our plan holders, our plan holders on average filed 2.3 claims a year.
Huh.
And 77% of them have said that something has broken within the first 3 months. So there's two ways that they can file a claim. They can go onto our portal, Homeowner Central at orhp.com, and they can create a profile and they can file the claim online, or they can call our toll-free call center. So we do have 3 call centers, and they're all US based, and the calls are routed based on where the calls come in from. So they could call for service, and the process is that they will assign a service provider, kind of like do triage. Okay, what's wrong? And they'll tell them, then they'll assign an appropriate service provider. In the event that that provider cannot come out within a timely fashion, let's say it's an emergency, like there's no hot water or the electricity is not working, those are things that we could give like high priority to. Then you can call back, or you can call me and I can help you in assisting you in having the call transferred to another, transfer the work order to someone else that can get there in a much more timely way.
Yeah.
And then
Speaking of that,
pardon me?
I'm sorry, go on.
Oh, and then the service provider will come out to the house, diagnose the problem. If it's something that they recommend they need a part for, or they they recommend replacing the item, then they would call for authorization from our company, for our service department, and take it from there, set up another appointment to like repair it, or if they can't repair it on the spot, that is.
Got it. Okay. And so what if I like have my own guy for something, right? Like I don't know, maybe it's a plumbing issue, and I have my own plumber. Can I just use my own plumber? And
so you have that option to use your own service provider, and a lot of times we will let you just tell you we don't have somebody, like if it's in a remote area and it's something that we don't have service providers for, then you have the option to choose your own person. However, you do have to call for authorization, because we want to make sure that the person that you're choosing is licensed and has reasonable rates. So they would, you can always use your own person, but you have to call first to get authorization.
okay.
Rather than
so like speaking of plumbers,
yeah.
like a clogged toilet, is that something that you guys
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
handle, or?
You did. I mean, that's kind of like I'll tell you that my personal experience, the number one claims that I get are things like water heaters, stoppages in the drain. That's the other thing too, like the sewage line out to the street. Oftentimes there's root encroachment. We do hydrojet for that if you have that kind of coverage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is we don't have a limit for the length of pipe. Some of our competitors do, we don't. So yeah, the stoppages are really common, especially garbage disposals. People put things down there,
Right.
Tonka
Right.
toys or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, good to know. All right. So, how long does it typically take to get somebody to come out to like if you have like a toilet stoppage? I mean, you probably want that like right away. Or, I mean, how long does it take?
That's a good question. I can never guarantee that someone's going to come out that same day. But chance, we try to get people out in the most timely fashion. Like I said, if for any reason someone doesn't come out in the time frame that is you're comfortable with, then that's where I would step in and transfer the work order to someone else. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, I had an issue in my own home when I first bought it back in 2020. And I went online, filed a claim online. I'm like, hey, let's see how this works. So I filed a claim online, and the toilet was making a strange sound. Like it was like really like making this shrieking sound. So I waited to see how long someone would call me. 2 hours later, a local plumber called me, and I explained to him what was wrong. And he said, oh, the valve is probably just not tight enough or something. And he explained to me how I could fix it. And I did, and that did. So I didn't even have to pay the service fee or anything like that. But then he said to me, if it still keeps on, let me know, and we could probably squeeze you in today. So that was my personal experience. I've had on Friday afternoons at 4 o'clock, people call that their water heater doesn't work. And we actually got somebody out there that day.
Oh,
So it
wow.
all depends. I mean, there's time frames where, I mean, when we were going through COVID, where it was harder to get people out there. People were, you know, there was a labor shortage, but that is thankfully in the rearview mirror now.
But is there any kind of like service level guarantee in like the home or the
You mean
plan?
like
I mean, like saying
pizzas
you,
delivered in 30 minutes?
yeah, like that.
No, no. All I can guarantee you is that I'm going to work the hardest to make sure that you're happy. How's
Right.
that for a guarantee?
Okay. Good enough. Good enough. So, there are a variety of home warranty companies out there, and some people have their own favorites, and I mean, for a first-time home buyer, maybe even a second or third-time home buyer, or maybe a homeowner who's never really had one before, how do you know which company to choose? Like, what should you look for in a home warranty plan or a home warranty company?
Okay, so that's a really great question. I'm so glad you asked. The first thing I would do is I would look at the plan brochure. And I would say, because with our brochure is our contract. Everything that you need to know is in there. If unless there's nothing stated, there is no limits. Like we'll tell you exactly what the limits are, what's covered, what's not covered, the ABCs of coverage, why something would be denied. It's a contract. So I mean, you read contracts all day long, right? You know what you're getting. I have seen competitors' brochures in offices, and I look at them and I think to myself, well, what's covered? Like, I say, oh, we cover the dishwasher. Okay, what's the limit? Like, how much? So I would want to know exactly what I'm getting. That would be the first thing. And the second thing is, and I learned this when I was selling insurance, like auto insurance. The best judge of an insurance company or home warranty company is how they handle the claim, because that's really where the pedal meets the road, or the rubber meets the road. Sorry, is how well someone's going to. So at Old Republic Home Protection, we have a concierge service, which means that if you have an issue that has to be escalated, like you're saying, oh, somebody didn't come out here in a timely fashion, I have one service assistant that is dedicated to me, and I will, hand off escalated issues to her, and she will reach out to you and assist you in the process. And the reason why that is so important is you only have to talk to one person. Like you're not, every time you call, you don't have to re-explain your story to someone. So it's really, who can you call who's going to help you? Like I said, all of our call centers are US based, and you have me as your advocate, basically. So that's what I would look for. Like, how well do they service a claim?
Okay. Now, a lot of people have asked me, like, hey, why do I even need a home warranty? Like, it's kind of like, like when you buy like something from Best Buy, they always want to sell you the warranty at Best Buy, and you always hear like, no, you should never buy those. Those, whatever. I mean, like, so what do you say to people who like don't see the value in getting a home warranty, that just feel they don't really need one?
Well, like I said, 2.3 of our plan holders file a claim within the first year. And I don't know if you and I have talked about this in the past, Seb, but I do, in fact, I have, well, I don't have them in front of me, but we get service cards in the mail every time that there's a service issue to one of the plan holders. And I've seen those those service cards that are, a couple $100s, couple $1,000s. I've actually seen several that have been in the tens of thousands of dollars. So I think it's budget protection. It gives you peace of mind, because most people, when they, especially first-time home buyers, when they move into a house for the first time, most of their money is tied up in that house, the down payment, the cost of moving, and they can't really afford a major appliance breakdown. And the other thing too is, in the last several years, in this run up with this crazy, real estate sales that we had in the Bay Area, people were waiving inspections. So they didn't even know what they were getting. So for as little as $395 for the year, you could have peace of mind. And it also, the other thing too is, if you're new to home ownership, maybe you don't have a stable of people that you would call, like plumbers or electricians. Like, who am I going to call and how am I going to deal with this? We are like Angie's List. You call us, we send someone out, and let's say there's a part that needs to be purchased that we can't find, that's hard to source. We'll source that for you. We'll do all of that legwork for you. Because people are busy. Who has time to manage that type of thing? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And actually, I mean, I see like whenever my clients get a service call, I get an email, right? You guys email me and say, "Oh, by the way, your client has service." So I see quite a few of those emails, really,
Right. So you get it.
surprisingly
You
enough,
know.
from my clients who are making these claims, and I always try to get the seller to pay for the home warranty when I'm representing the buyer. And when I'm the seller's agent, I always try to get the buyer to pay for it. But regardless, I always want to see there be a home warranty on the property,
Mhm.
especially when I am representing the buyer, because I know that for a lot of buyers, like not only do they just buy a house, right? But normally when you buy a house, you start buying furniture and like lawn mowers and
Right.
like, paint, and like you start spending all this cash, and then on top of that, all of a sudden you have like a water heater that goes out and you need
Mhm.
2 grand for like a water heater. So I always want to make sure that my clients do have a home warranty, because okay, well, it's not all the time, but in my experience, yeah, it's like 1 out of 3. It seems like people who I get a home warranty for, that they do actually end up having a service call. And I also want to say that some very smart property managers that I know, they have continual home warranties the whole entire time they own any rental property, because they just
Yeah.
want to make sure their cash flow is regular, right? They don't want to like have to like all of a sudden, spend a couple $2,000 or $3,000 one month.
Sure.
And so they just pay every month for, do you guys have that monthly payment option? I mean,
Not yet, but we're working on it pretty
you're
soon.
working on it.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense, really. Just have like a monthly thing where you just pay, okay, well, here it is. I'm going to pay, what, I don't know, like $50 a month or whatever, for my home
Yeah.
warranty. And, probably less than that. Maybe it's only $42. I don't know what it's going to be, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people, really do use their home warranties because it covers a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I know lots of people that have used their home warranties and have saved thousands of dollars.
Totally.
Yeah,
So
totally.
now, how about like a home inspection? Like, like do I need to like send you a home inspection after I buy the home, so that you guys know what's working and what's not before?
No, that's not required with us. The only time we ever ask for home inspection is if it will build your case. If something is questionable as to whether or not, I should have mentioned that at the beginning. Everything has to be in known working order at the time the plan goes into place. So that would be if our service provider goes out and let's say they're looking at the furnace and the heat shield is cracked and it's rusted and it's like there's no way this ever worked. And then you could say, well, wait a minute, we had the house inspected and the inspection said that it was in, approaching its end of its useful life, but it was still in working condition. I'm like, okay, let me see the inspection. And then this inspection would enhance your case, but it's not required. So
So that's interesting. So this is kind of, we're going down the rabbit hole here, but like, let's say there's a 20-year-old water heater, which is very common. Water
mhm.
heaters only last supposedly 10 years, right? That's their sort of rating, right? So if I have like a 20-year-old water heater that does in fact work perfectly fine, and my home inspection says so, and then it fails like, 6 months later, what happens?
It would be covered.
It would be covered.
Yeah, I
All right.
mean, I had someone I know of someone, one of my claims was 3 weeks in, heating system failed. 3 weeks in, and it was working at the time the plan went into place. It was in known working order. So we covered it.
Wow. Wow. Okay. And so you said heating system. So like, a lot of people have furnaces, but then there's also like mini splits or like hydronic heating, and
That's
like you
all
guys
covered.
all
Hmm.
covered, huh?
Hmm.
Wow. So but like as a hydronic heating system, that's like a kind of like a deluxe thing, right? I mean, like is that,
That's covered.
Same price as any other thing, huh?
Yeah, and FYI, I used to work for a company that did hydronic heating, radiant hydronic heating. So
Right.
one thing I would recommend, because I do understand the different types of radiant hydronic heating, is if you have it embedded in your slab, then you would get our platinum protection plan because it covers enhanced slab. So yeah,
Okay. All
covered.
right. Water softener, is that covered?
It's an option that you
Option.
have to pay extra for. Yeah, but
Right.
we do cover it.
Okay. All right. Terrific. So how about like renewing, or how long's the term, first of all? How long's the home warranty
Well,
typically last?
it's 12 months. We do have a 13-month plan, but it is 12. We have a 12-month plan and or the 13-month plan. At the end of that, about a month, I think it's like 30 to 60 days before, you'll get a renewal notice. Depending on how much you use the plan, it's just like insurance. You file a claim, say get into an accident, you file a claim, sometimes your rates go up. So you might get an adjusted rate, or in some cases where you use the plan so much that the loss ratio is so high, you may not get it renewal.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Does it ever go down? Could you, if you didn't have any claims, did it ever go down?
Seriously.
Just kidding. A little humor never hurt anybody, right? Okay, all right. So also now one thing I offer my clients who are I'm selling their house with, I offer this seller home warranty.
Right.
And could you explain to people how that actually works?
Yes, seller's coverage works the same way it does for buyer's coverage. So when you get a listing, you can say to your clients, you list the home with me. I am going to put a home warranty on this property while it's on the market. And it doesn't even have to be on the market. As long as you have a signed listing agreement, let's say you're getting the house ready to go to market. So sometimes that could take a couple of months. You would put a seller, we call it seller's coverage. I like to call it listing coverage because that kind of makes it sound more specific. And it will cover, there are some limitations to seller's coverage, like the limits are a little bit lower and some optional coverages are not covered, but essentially it covers the systems and the appliances in the home in the event that something breaks down while the house is on the market. And, a lot of times people are selling their homes, they may be asset rich or cash poor, or maybe it's a high conflict divorce and they're already fighting over who's going to pay for the lawn service or whatever. So if something were to break down, like I think you had a claim recently with
I did.
yeah, exactly. Then you're saving your client's money because the home warranty will come in and repair, replace it.
Well, not only am I saving them money, I'm saving them stress because you see
Yeah,
like my beautiful gray hairs right here. It's because I take on that stress for my clients all the time, right? I'm prematurely aged from my years in the business because
right,
can be very stressful, selling a house or buying a house. But for my sellers, I really want to take care of them, right? I want them to feel like, they are being, all possible contingencies that can be covered are covered.
right,
And that is
exactly.
why I take out that seller's home warranty so that if any of that stuff that we've just been talking about comes up, you guys are going to take care of it for them and they're not going to have to like have that stress. Oh my God, all of a sudden I've just spent, 25, 30,000, $40,000 getting my house ready for sale. And now I have to pay $2,000 for like a new water heater on top of all that.
Yeah, I mean, it shows how much you care for your clients, Seb.
Yeah, well, I do care for my clients. So thank you very much. And I always recommend ORHP to everybody. All my
Yeah.
clients I've ever had file a claim with you guys have all thought it was great. So I want to thank you for the wonderful service that you provide.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to share the knowledge.
Very good. Well, are there any final closing remarks before we wrap it up here, Beth?
I know that this is a trying time right now with the real estate market kind of like really slowing down. So I think that now's the better time than ever to promote home warranties because the cost associated with repairs certainly, and also the peace of mind. And then just like I said, I just want to emphasize that the best test of an insurance company or home warranty company is how they handle a claim. So I want to close with Beth Pawanda, Old Republic Home Protection. I'm here to serve. Our company motto is people helping people, and we live by those words.
And how would they get a hold of you? Is there like, can they call you directly or email you or?
Yes, I can tell you my I guess I could have created a little banner for this, but bethp@orhp.com.
Okay. All
And
right. We'll
and
just
then
have them email you, and I can put that up on the screen here in post-production. So,
yeah,
so if anybody has any questions, they can just reach out to you directly via email.
and you can put my phone number too, my cell phone number as well.
Okay, I'll put that down there
Oh,
as
and
well.
also I don't want to. All of our plans come with Rekey.
Riki, what? Say that again. Back up. What?
Rekey, yeah. All of our plans come with Rekey, so up to 6 locks and 4 keys. And there is a service fee associated with it, or trade call fee, which is $85. But I can send you a coupon that will waive that. So that's most people didn't you know that, Seb?
No, back up. So wait a second. So I sell a
God.
house and they get a home warranty, and then the locks are fine, but you can rekey them anyway.
You could rekey them if you want to. A lot of times people want to change the locks.
Yeah,
They
they
don't know how
do,
many people have been coming in and out of that house.
but they're not broken though. So like, but you rekey them anyway.
Well, rekey them so because you don't know who had the keys before you for
Yeah.
security reasons. Most people want to change the locks.
Yes.
So we
So
changed six locks, 4 keys. There is a trade call fee of $85 to do that, but I can send you coupons that will waive that.
wait a second. That's amazing. So basically, I always tell my clients to get a house rekeyed. How did I not know that you guys will rekey it for 85 bucks? I mean, normally it's like 150 bucks to have a house rekeyed.
Right, right. Yeah, so I'll send you the coupons.
So so it closes. First thing that happens before it even closes escrow, I'm calling up you guys to say, hey.
It has to close escrow first. You have to own the house before you
So
change the
it closes
law.
escrow, and I call them up like that morning and say, hey,
Yes,
we
yes.
want to rekey right away.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. I did not
Yeah,
know that.
you call our toll-free number or our service number.
Wow.
And yeah, and the other thing too is when I know the email addresses of the plan holders, I send them a welcome email and I tell them all this stuff.
Ah, well, who reads email, right?
And
You do.
I know.
You read email when people send you email asking you questions about ORHP, but wow, I've learned so much today. Really, I mean, I think I might have heard that at one point, but I think I definitely forgot about it.
Well,
So
my bad for not emphasizing that enough. Rekey, rekey.
that's really important. Yeah, because I always tell my clients, have your house rekeyed. And I've actually paid for a few rekeys myself just for my clients. It's like, hey, thank you so much. Let me have the house rekeyed for you. But here I could be having you guys do it for me with your coupon. So all
Yep.
right, well, that is terrific. Very excited about that.
Thanks. Okay. Well, great. This has been great. Thanks
Thank
so
you,
much.
Beth. I appreciate your time.
I appreciate you too. Take
See you
care.
later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.